Hello and welcome to episode 28 of A Dose of Sinsanity. I am GR3, joined by Welshie and Jamokin. How's it going, fellas?
It's going good. It's going good.
TI's over.
TI is over.
And I honestly slept on finals.
Yeah. Did you watch them?
I did watch the first game, and then it felt like a snooze fest.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We got kind of a fun lineup today. We're going to talk about TI. We're going to break it down.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk about our predictions. I've got another game time since you guys liked it so much last time. And then we can get into a little Dark and Darker action, which I know all three of us are really excited on. Because it's been a nice break a little bit from Dota, and Dark and Darker is only a short time. So I'm ready. But, Walshy, you got a story time for us.
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to
Hear it, buddy.
So as a tradition of story time, I'm going to tell the story of the first time I got a dog. So I was like 13 years old, and I was hanging out with my dad. My dad was like, "Hey, let's go get a dog." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, that sounds awesome." So we went to a place that was like, basically, the long story short, it was an Airedale Terrier, big old thing, bear hunting version of it. And we picked it up from a place that, in full honesty, otherwise would have been euthanized.
You had a dog that hunted bears?
Oh, yeah.
Like
A
legit,
bear hunting
or
dog? Oh, yeah.
like legitimately it hunted bears, or
Yeah.
like it's breed hunted bears?
No, it's legitimately had hunted bears in the past. It was a retired bear hunting dog. And the long story short, it was biggest cuddle thing in the world. But I'll tell you right now, you piss that dog off, and oh my god, she fucking would have killed you. Now, I mean, legit, but actual full story is that we picked her up from the shelter, and she was going to be euthanized, and we didn't get her, and we got her in the car, and they'd given her like pig ears or a thing, and it turns out she liked the pig ears. Fantastic. We're driving in the car. I'm of course, this is my dog. This is my dog we just picked up. So I'm gonna sit in the back, in the trunk with the dog. Not trunk, but like the open back seat, like in the SUV. Hanging out back there. I'm loving this dog. We're forming a soul bond. And this dog just like kind of freaked out. Understandable. I'm just trying to comfort her. And then she just like, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the bond with this dog. And this dog just, what she does? She stands up. She has explosive diarrhea all over me. Just shit. Just a fucking spew of shit over 13-year-old little Benny boy. Just boom. And ended up with me bawling my eyes out on the side of the highway, fucking stripped naked. My dad's like, well, I'm not driving with shit-covered clothes and shit, so he threw everything out of the back, including my clothes, on the side of the road, and we fucking drove home.
Tell me
me crying.
Connected garage.
And that is
Tell
when
me how to connect a garage.
we did.
Okay, bless.
Yeah. And we ended up, but I'll tell you right now, that bond with that dog was sealed in shit the day I got her.
It's like on your way back, were you just thinking like, man, I really fucking hope this dog doesn't get diarrhea again, because I have nothing else to take off, and I'm gonna have fucking diarrhea between.
Oh no, that dog sat in the back of that seat alone after that. No,
in my ball creases.
Yeah, no, I was like, no, that's done. That's good. We're good now.
Oh man,
I'm gonna sit in the front and just keep crying on the way home because I'm upset.
Yeah, you didn't learn. Don't give animals things that they're not used to right away. Huh?
What me with the fucking shelter? But yeah,
It was you.
fuck off. Yeah, it was really a scarring experience and a hilarious story to always tell about the story of getting my first dog. Me and her were bonded from the day I got her, from her shitting on me.
That's funny. Speaking of being shit on, Team Secret gets shit on by Tundra.
Yeah,
like,
holy shit, dude.
3-0, like definition of explosive diarrhea all over your fucking gameplay.
Yeah, those were miserable
like
games.
Jesus. Like I watched the first game and I was like, all right. Sometimes games are like this. Like I thought they got outdrafted, and I was like, okay, it's still puppy, right? Like we're gonna fix this. Like we looked really good when played against Liquid. Awesome. So game 2 runs around, and I was like head bobbing, falling asleep, and I was like, this is another fucking shit stop. And then the ultimate fucking BM comes out in like game 3, like, oh, why did you pick the Medusa? I opened up a Crimson Treasure, wanted to play Medusa. We're gonna fucking beat their ass anyways. Doesn't matter the heroes that we play. Hasn't been picked in TI, does not matter.
Yeah, and they gave them the Leshrac every single game.
Every game did not care. What was that TI against? Was it TI 8 that OG basically said, "Hey, you can run TA and
Tied to
Tide, and we don't care." And it's like they just kept running it and kept running it and kept losing with it and kept losing with it. Like eventually, you got to change shit up. Like I know that you thought that the
TA
Leshrac-
tied. It gives you everything.
Yeah.
Team fight, Roche, push.
except the
whatever
fucking
that-
TI win.
Yeah, I mean
You know what I mean?
everything
Like,
but the TI win.
it's the same story with the Leshrac. Like, eventually you have to give it up. Like, if you don't feel like if game 1's done,
Yeah, but
you
what's the
don't feel
Leshrac
like-
the issue?
right?
You have to ask yourself: is the
But-
Lesh the problem, or is it other
Everything
things?
else. And if you feel like in game 2 you're like, oh, it's not the Lesh, cool. Then you play it again. But game 3, you're like, all right, listen, shit's got to change. Like, we can't just open up, maybe ban it, like whatever. I don't know.
The whole
but-
formula is broken at that point.
Yeah, I mean, clearly they knew how the fuck to deal with it, and it turns out, fucking Tidehunter with every single fucking aura item and just fucking really just reduce magic damage and easy. Also, didn't know until the finals that Shard on Arc Warden gives 40% magic resist.
Oh yeah, dude.
Interesting.
It's almost. You know what I think Arc Warden could be? I bet you could play it as a 4.
Shut up.
Call me crazy.
No,
Call me nuts here.
nope. Still, for the same reason, you're just gonna feed fucking gold all over the goddamn map because the thing's too easy to kill.
Your lane will be sick. I'll give you that. Arc Warden, a filthy laner, especially as a 4. Insane attacker. He's like the fucking Lina, you know?
Oh yeah, just poke for
Boop,
days.
boop. And support ever leaves the lane, like he just wins trades outside of lane so well, right? Like that's what makes him a good mid.
Mhm.
You're away from the wave, you're getting punished. But after that, the hero is just feeding off cooldown. Like,
Yeah, I get what you mean.
he's-
But I mean, let's talk
So he's
about
double
Tundra.
feeding off cooldown.
Let's talk about Tundra.
Yeah.
I mean, Tundra had, if you actually look at their run, they had a very dominant bracket.
They lost one game
Yeah.
in the upper bracket semifinals, or I guess it would be upper bracket finals.
Yeah, let's take a look at, let me take a look at their bracket again. I'm trying to just pull that up.
Right.
They
Just to touch back on Team Secret, I don't think Secret played bad.
Oh, no.
Like, I think they
No.
played actually really well. I just think Tundra just
Tundra was just like completely on the same page,
Oh, yeah.
no matter what, always.
let's
Like,
Yeah.
go ahead.
let's just say really quickly, just real quick. So they 2-0'd their entire run was exactly like you said. They lost one game in the entirety of the bracket. They 2-0'd OG, they 2-0'd Aster, they 2-1 Secret in the semis, and then they 3-0'd Secret.
You know what wasn't on Secret's team during the upper bracket finals? Leshrac. Leshrac was not on that team.
Fair enough.
They ran Silencer, Dawn, Nyx, Pengo, and Drow. And against a pretty heavy push strat. And now they're like, must play Lesh. Maybe they're like thinking, oh, they cracked the code and all this shit. And like, if you look at like what they did, like when they won, like the big heroes for them, Lesh wasn't at all played by them in the Secret Liquid series.
yeah.
In the Tundra Secret wasn't played at all by them. It was played in the Thunder Awaken, and it was on their squad in the PSG LGD. Now it was banned, right? Like it was banned. In all 3 games in the first phase.
First phase, yep.
Yes.
So they were
But-
scared of it.
Yes, like they're scared of it. And maybe they got baited by the fact that like because it's not banned, we're gonna exploit this but then they let them have it, and it's like it wasn't working. Like they figured it out.
Yeah, but something you have to consider, especially when it comes to TI being such a long tournament, is as the game, like as the tournament goes, the later you get, eventually a lot of your stuff starts getting figured out, and eventually you reach the bottom of the pile. And I feel like that's when we start to see teams just like completely say, "I just want to pick comfort. I just want to pick comfort," because like everything else that might be good, if the other team has it figured out, it doesn't matter if it's good.
I mean,
Like
and,
when
Like you might as
when
well
you
just
see
be the
a
most
hoodwink-
comfortable on it. Yeah, you might as well be the most comfortable you can possibly be on a hero and like run it.
like Hoodwink, Tide, CK, Arc
Mhm.
Warden, Phoenix, Medusa, like
yeah, it's funny you actually say that because it's very similar in like MMA, right? Like somebody can be dominant in the sport if they have a technique or something that nobody knows how to deal with, and then you have one person figure out how to deal with it, and suddenly you're going to fall because everyone has seen now how to beat what you're good at, right?
that and a weak chin.
True. Like, people figured out the brood, and then the brood stopped being good. Like people figured out the other strategies, and the other strategies stopped being good. People figured out the SF carry, and SF carry stopped being good. People
So let
just couldn't figure
I
out.
mean,
timing.
Primal Beast, man. Like start of the tournament.
Oh yeah.
does this mean I shouldn't say it. How should I phrase this? Is this attributed to the long break between the final 2 days? In like
I don't
losing,
think that's had an impact. I think if anything, that made the finals better.
because I'm just
I
curious
don't like
if,
it,
like,
but I felt like teams would have come in more prepared and rested, and I think at the end of the day, you would get technically better Dota.
I mean, I think that the Secret Liquid series was some of the best Dota I saw the entire tournament,
Oh yeah.
personally. And like they were quick games too. Like I even thought game one, which was like a 28-minute game, Secret over Liquid, was really, really good until it wasn't. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I think it was the last pick Northlane, that game. And I thought that game was really good. Even though it was kind of got out of control really quickly, I really enjoyed that. It was kind of fun to also see Liquid first pick this Enigma and then Secret respond with a fucking silencer, a Nyx, a sniper, and a Beastmaster and say, "You're not allowed to play the game. Sorry, bud." You know what I mean? But I thought the Secret Liquid lower bracket finals was better than the grand finals.
Oh, I don't think anybody would refute that.
I think that nobody enjoys, like, unless it's a team that you're like personally associated with, if you're neutral, nobody enjoys a 3-0 shutout,
No.
right? It's boring. Like, great, I watched this team get completely destroyed. Like, it's not that interesting. I watched it happen 3 times in a row. Like,
Yeah, especially if it's a blow. Like if they're at least if there's 3 close games where like game 3 ends on like a an ancient race, like at least you could be like, okay, they were super exciting. Yeah, this team edged out the win 3 times. But like exciting Dota, when a team just gets shit kicked game 1, shit kicked game 2, by game 3, you're like, stop.
Like TI9. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's like watching hockey and one team is just like pumping up the score for the first 2 periods, and then the 3rd period rolls around. And you're like, man, I don't even know what. It's like 7-0. It's like I'm not like, do I want to watch this 3rd period? Like it's gonna be the same shit, and so it's just not fun.
TI9 was very OG lopsided. Like Liquid did take the first game, and then OG just shit on him, shit on him, shit on him. And like arguably OG should have shit on him in the first game. And like that's where you had the notorious like on a didn't buy back kind of thing.
Liquid were handedly winning that game.
There was the Meepo that was nuts. But like I just think like the last 3 games were so lopsided. Like it was really, really one-sided. And that was exciting to me. Maybe it was because I was like, I did like OG at the time, wanted to see them repeat, was a bigger OG fan than a Liquid fan. That was exciting. This one, like, I don't know if it's just that I'm really not that much of a Tundra fan. Like I like the individual players, just really never follow. Even in the group stage, I didn't really follow them. But maybe that was the lack of excitement. Like I was kind of really rooting for Secret.
I feel like,
But-
I feel like just on the simple fact that Puppy's on that team and everybody knows Puppy, it's a reason.
Well, I like Rezo too. Like that was the other thing is like I really like Rezo. Like I thought he was one of the better players on any stack that he's ever been on. Just kind of choke artist usually. But I don't like it was just so lopsided. Like
I was gonna say,
is this more dominant of a team, Tundra, like this TI Tundra versus TI9 OG? Who was more dominant in their run?
I feel like everyone was watching OG, so I feel like OG was more dominant because everyone was on the OG hype train.
They were the ones to watch. for
Tundra,
sure.
like I just did not realize how fucking dominant Tundra was until I watched semis, and then I was like, oh, they're actually just kind of dominating everyone, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they're not like, these aren't small teams they're doing it to. I was like, OG, I'm like, okay, I mean it's new OG. They either hit or miss. They missed the 2 games that they were against Tundra. Aster, okay, I don't know that much about Aster. I know they did well in bracket, but let's not say too much about them. Okay, they 2-1 Secret. Okay, maybe that was just they had an off game, but clearly it was, it was down to a single game series, and then just 3-0 domination. I was like, okay, no, you can't look at all that and ignore it. They lost 1 game in their whole bracket. Like, come on. They clearly dominated.
One storyline I have yet to investigate, but I'm curious to see how it turned out, is the Dire versus Radiant win rates. As we know, through opens, teams are picking Dire over pick. And I know at least come main stage TI, teams are picking second pick.
Second pick started to be real dominant.
So did teams figure out the Dire Radiant matchup? Or what was like, I'm curious to see the thought process from the transition from at least the open quals.
My opinion, the gotcha picks, personally. There was 3 heroes, in my opinion, that were like the big, okay, now what are you gonna fucking do? Kind of like the gotcha picks, you know what I mean? There was the Morphling, where like Morphling comes out 24, you're winning the fucking game. Like I'll be curious how many 24 pick Morphlings won and what the win rate was. I feel like it's substantial. Naga Siren was another one. And then Touch in response to like Naga Siren. Like you 23 pick a Naga or pick it in the second phase at like what you call it, 16 or 17.
Mm-hmm.
And they come out with a Pudge. It's like, okay, this hero doesn't really have a game now. You know what I mean? I mean, like that's what it was.
Team
It was
Secret
like
thought that when they picked the game 1 against Tundra.
Sure. But what I'm saying is like I feel like it's the gotcha picks were like the big thing.
I feel like there was a lot of heroes this TI that required multiple heroes to deal with it. Enigmas, Primal Beast, Naga
Lush
Sirens, Lushrax. Like, I feel like we just had a lot of heroes that were like Morphling. Like if you didn't have, if they picked it, if it got too late in the draft and they pick it, you didn't have time to adjust, and you just needed like 2 heroes plus items to like be like, hey, we have to deal with this problem. And it was never just I can shoehorn my Clockwork to fix this, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, we'll just have Clock jump the sniper and like he'll die, but he'll stall sniper for 4 seconds, and then we'll close the gap and like, you know? It was always like, how are we gonna stop Primal Beast from just killing everybody? Well, shit.
Yeah.
Or like even just picking Silencer into Enigma, they're like, okay, he's going Wraith Pact, and you know, he's still gonna have such a big impact. How are we gonna stop this push?
Yeah.
So there was just a lot.
And I feel like that's kind of a product too. Like there was a few that were like that, and then they kept getting banned. Right? Like towards the later stages, and then there got to be less of those. Somehow Morph kept getting through, somehow Naga kept getting through. Lesh was obviously dealt with in the finals, but most teams are like, just fucking ban the hero. Lesh ended up being picked 77 times, by the way. Number 4 behind Shadow Fiend, Tiny, and Marcy. But a lot of those people were picking those heroes because they're like, well, if they do, we have to start prepping for the shit anyways. Like, start prepping now. Like the Enigma. Like, you see people were automatically picking fucking Silencer like immediately. And and then just saying, okay, if they pick Enigma, all we need is one more hero. And then Enigma can't have a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then teams would ban like Marcy Nyx per se, and they just prep for the Enigma.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you're right in the sense of it was strong because there's a few heroes that was like you needed multiple heroes to deal with it. And items. Like at the same time, like you could have like 2 heroes that dealt with it, but if they didn't like building the like right items, like we learned, how do you stop a fucking Leshrac? Well, you need a Wraith Pact, you need a pipe, and a Mage Slayer. And then what the fuck does the hero do? You know what I mean?
You can even build to help with that, it feels like.
Yeah. So
Like,
and unless you have some like insane physical hero that will delete that guy, the Leshrac can't kill that man.
But you're not that guy,
you know.
You're not that guy.
Yeah. I mean, look at Seeker's Draft when they were against it, right? They had nothing.
Yeah.
The other thing that I kept seeing too was like the heroes that were being leaned to were more, especially like in the mid game, honestly, were not, okay, this is the build I'm going, and I don't have a lot of flexibility. Like they're very flexible build type heroes. You kind of even saw that with Mirana. Like I've always thought of Mirana as you can build anything and everything on that hero. And Mirana started getting fairly popular in the 5 role, especially towards the back end of the tournament. You started seeing a lot of that, especially in the mid game. Like Pengo was phenomenal for that role. Like whatever the fuck needed to be built, a Pengo could build it. Do you need the Pengo to go? Like we saw it occasionally into Leshracs where they would build Diffusal and Mage Slayer, right? And it just pooped all over them. So that was another thing. And like the Primal Beast is almost like it was like offlaner, carry in like towards the back end of the patch. Did you guys feel that way? Like almost like 2 utilities.
Yeah, I mean, I felt that a lot, especially in a couple of games. There was, what was it? There was the game of EG versus Liquid in the Group A groups that was like exactly like that. Just utility on everyone. Well, at least 2 highly utilitarian heroes.
I am still. This TI was very weird, especially come the later portions of the tournament for carry players. So I'm not entirely sure what was happening elsewhere because I was trying to figure out exactly what was going on with the carry role. And I'm still not entirely sure. Like some drafts are just really weird.
I want to go back to that subject of the break real quick because the break was really interesting. Do you think that it took the players out of the mindset? Like, because in my mind, I'm like, okay, you can either think that they're getting burnt the fuck out because they're playing like 5-6 days of just straight Dota each, or like, or you're taking that the rest is good for them, or you're taking them out of the Dota zone, right? Like I'm going to wake up today and the very first thought I think of and the last thought before I go to bed is Dota, right?
It helps upper bracket the most, and it hurts lower bracket. Is how I view it. Lower bracket, winning in lower bracket, you ride off the emotional wave of being in the lower bracket and winning. So if you're making a lower bracket run, every win like empowers your team that much more, and you carry that momentum forward into each series, and it builds and builds and builds, and then eventually you make it to the grand finals and you try to ride that out, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But when you have that break, you like kill that momentum vibe. And so it's almost like you're starting from square one again in the lower bracket, even though you only have, 2 more series to go.
I couldn't even agree more because like if you look at Liquid, like they lost their first series to Aster, and then come and beat Entity 2-1, beat OG 2-0, beat Thunder Awaken 2-1, beat Aster 2-1, and then they get a break, and then they lose the next game. So it's, I would agree. Like it effectively killed off that momentum. And do I think they're like wake up and like kind of get their mind off though? No, absolutely not. Like I think that is more of like the almost the academic side, if like you will. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna be studying more. Like most of they're still gonna be playing and they're still gonna be like I'm curious if they scrim at all during that time. I actually would be
Oh, guaranteed,
yeah.
100%.
So
You're
they're
scrimming
gonna,
the teams that got knocked out without a doubt.
yeah, and you're trying to figure some things out of what they're doing and what you can do. And like you say, like the meta shifts so much. The meta at the start, like day 1 and 2 of groups, is completely different than what you saw in the later portions. Um, for example, like you look at EG versus Sonics, which is the first series being played. Yeah, you see Beastmaster, but Undying started to get figured out. Primal Beast got figured out. You didn't see too much Drow, but like in their other draft, Broodmother was figured out. Like Terrorblade basically started to not be a hero. On the Sonic side, like they're using Bane, Magnus, Juggernaut, like Disruptor started just completely falling off. They had a Slark and a Mars. Like you didn't see these heroes at all towards the end.
One thing you have to consider that this break plays a role in is like lower bracket has the advantage of they get to play more games of Dota.
Yeah.
Like they get more games in. So you get to figure out the patch and like work on stuff. And while in theory you could be scrimming in the upper bracket, you also have to be like watching what other people doing. And you're not necessarily like playing and feeling it. You're kind of looking at it, analyzing it, and trying to like cognitively understand what's happening. And there's kind of a difference between that and like feeling it and playing it and seeing how it feels. And so taking that break, like the upper bracket's able to get a bunch of scrims in and like kind of catch up with where the meta currently is for TI.
There's also just this opportunity with the way that that kind of Tundra and Secret had it, where Tundra got to sit back for semis and just watch how Secret was going to play, right? They had the latest information on Secret going into it.
No, and there's definitely an advantage to be had there, but there's also an advantage to be playing as a team.
True.
And so, like, if you played something and then after the game, Welsh, you're like, man, this felt like super good. I could see something like this, and all of a sudden we have this information that we didn't show our hand, but we just added a new card to our deck, essentially. Or me watching, like, I can't. It would be much harder for me to figure that out.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm excited for. I'll say this: I'm excited for the. What am I?
I'm excited for the next patch.
Yeah, I'm excited for the next patch. I'm excited for the new hero.
Oh, please, range core. What are the numbers? Run me through them.
Wait. Before we go into that, I'm just trying to figure out how many games Liquid actually played. So between Last Chance and regional qualifiers, they played 30 games. And then in the group stage, you add another, what would have been 18 games. So 48 games. Then they played, where are they? 48, 50, 53, 55, 58, 61. They played 64 games basically for TI.
Oh my god.
Like, and I would argue that they played more. I mean, hands down, they played more games than any other team through TI.
Did you count the regional qualifier
Regional and
and opens?
and opens.
Can we also like
Okay.
let's just take a moment to also give massive respect to two teams that come out of fucking last chance qualifiers, making it all the way to finals and semis.
Okay, but I think this is part of the point he's making is look how many games they got to play.
Yeah, no, you're right.
How many of those did the other teams, you get the scrim and that's great, but they didn't get this. They missed out on so many games. And so I think there's something to be said for all those extra games that they might not have necessarily wanted to play, but they had to play. Definitely helped them achieve what these two teams that came through opens did. Like, again,
There's
mad
only
respect.
28 games by Tundra.
And how many for Liquid
What
slash
do we
Secret?
say? 68.
So yeah, like
Like it's a big difference, and like the thing is, like you even take away because like the finals because Liquid didn't play. I mean, it's 25 to 68. Like you played over double the amount of games like at that point in the tournament that the team who won did. Now, if we look at too the last chance qualifiers and like regional qualifiers, you look at who the lower bracket finals were. It was those teams, the ones who got to play the meta more than anybody else. And they got to, you talk about momentum, they rode their momentum. Like they got a little bit down in the regionals, but they rode their momentum all the way through the last chance qualifiers. And even in the, like obviously they finished second, third. So they did well in the regional qualifiers. They rode their momentum through the last chance qualifiers. They get to group stage. Between the two of them, they both finished second in their pool, going 13-5, one behind. So they're still riding the momentum. Clearly, they have one of the larger ideas of what the meta is. They get to the main event. You have one team that's doing really well in the upper bracket and the other team that is dominating all the way through the lowers. And then you get to lower bracket finals, and we're going to take a break and just completely stop everything. Like, it fucked them, like, in my opinion. It's hard to know if there was no break. Would Liquid have beat Secret, and would Liquid have beaten Tundra? If there was no
I
break.
think that the last question I think is no.
Tundra, I think, wins. Tundra, I feel
Yeah,
like
I
was
think
the
Tundra
clear
wins.
best in the
Yep.
tournament. But I don't think Secret beats Liquid.
That we might never know on that one.
I mean, you're
Mhm.
you're chiseled from battle, and then you get to take off you stop for a moment, and I feel like all of it just hits you at once, right? The 68 games of
But-
Dota they played beforehand, or however.
There's also something about as a team, like the bonds you build when you're up against the ropes and like you bounce back, right?
Oh, for
like-
sure.
And especially when it's recent. We're not pointing at, hey guys, remember 3 years ago in so and so major where we bounced back? And everyone's like, oh, okay, yeah, we did do that, but it's been 3 fucking years. They're like, man, like we battled through opens, like we're battling through lowers, like the amount of like camaraderie you build and the amount of emotion you have towards each other just like grows and grows. And
There's
so-
something to say to like have the idea in your like the back of your head that's like, I'm a fucking cockroach. You can't kill me off. you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm fucking here. Like you might have fucking
Yeah.
swept me into the trash can, like the upper brackets. Like you beat me 2-0. Aster beat Liquid. It's like, all right, you put me in the trash can that lower brackets is, but I'm not fucking dying.
Still here, motherfucker.
Yep, still here, not going anywhere.
Speaking of which, I know it meant a lot to him coming from the famous Doses Insanity podcast, but shout out to Puppy, dude. 32 years old and he's still fucking got it, dude. He is still giving to these fucking idiots. What a player.
Yeah, Puppy, good job giving it to these quote unquote fucking idiots.
Thanks.
Really,
man.
Losing in the
really well
I
done,
just think it's,
Puppy.
I mean,
Fucking
honestly, though, I
fun.
think it is really impressive that he is
Yeah.
still in the
Make
scene.
sure you
He's still the all-timer. And he went from being literally, is he going to be the final guy to not be an all-timer to, no, I'm going to be in grand finals.
Yeah, shout out,
What
Puppy.
a
Make sure you
fucking
leave a
G.
comment. Make sure you leave a comment, Puppy.
I know Puppy watches
Um,
all these, man. So shout out Puppy.
Oh, Puppy's one of our top viewers, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's
next to
talk
the
about
Evans.
Muerta. Thoughts?
Better be a ranged carry. What are the numbers? Run me through them.
All right.
Did we write them down?
First off, it's going to be a position 4 because they're all position 4.
No, they all start off as core. They get
They all
nerfed
start
and
off
all
as core.
become position 4s. That's the secret.
That's the real reason why I play position 4.
See,
Because I get
even
all the heroes.
while she was trying to make Arc Warden a pause 4, which I would argue is the last range carry we got to Dota,
First off,
which is
it's
2015
Sapphire.
December,
Sapphire.
by the way. Carry?
I
Sapphire
have
carry?
in a
That's like saying
competitive-
Monkey King's a carry.
in a competitive game, I have run in Arc Warden 4. And we could talk about that like in another
You're
podcast,
monsters.
but bottom line, position 4 is the trash can of positions. Something looks shit in the draft, like just goes completely wrong, and you just like, this hero's fucked. Position 4, baby. I mean, that's what happened when I played Arc Warden. It was like, we're gonna first pick Arc Warden, and then countered. Position 4.
I think the last real like position 1 through and through we got is Terrorblade 2014 January. Like you don't play Terrorblade anywhere else, right?
What do you mean?
You've never
Purple
played
Pan-
Terrorblade,
Purple
John?
I
Pansy-
swear to God,
Purple
shut up.
Pansy
Shut up.
And Biggie
I don't.
both play position 5.
Who?
Purple Pansy and Biggie.
You've never done
Who the fuck-
offlane
what team are they
Terrorblade
on?
with an armlet and a shadow blade? Are you
RSD
kidding?
And Biggie, one of the
Were they at TI?
one of the famous talents.
Were they at
for,
TI?
For the PSGS Invitational. No, better. PSGS
We have-
Invitational.
Their talents?
Well, Biggie is. Patty Too Fat.
Oh.
It's your tournament, even though I'm handling the casters.
Boys, we both know she's going to be an offlaner. All right, we can stop pretending. It's obvious.
Oh, get the fuck out. There's 0%
Leave.
chance that hero's
Leave.
gonna be.
Imagine doing a
Leave.
third offlaner in a row, dude.
That hero to me off the thing is a position 2, a position 1, or a position 4.
It better be a 1. I want
Dude,
3 passives and a stun. That's what I want. I
So-
want Wraith King.
You want Wraith
First
King
off, there's
ranged.
clearly
And I
gonna
want
be
a hero that I can play while I'm dead, so I can still hit creeps. Give me Venge.
clearly there's a toggleable ability, right? Like when she changed to her neon colors, clearly there's something like toggleable, like
Yeah, that's her ult where she
Deuce's
like
shield and shit like that.
crits for 300%.
Okay,
Well, no,
But-
if we're gonna theory craft here real quick, you'll notice that when she has that activated, there's like spirits behind her. I'm not saying it's DP, but I'm just really curious. Maybe it's that she resurrects and like one of her cores because she's obviously a support.
I will
I thought you said she was a 3.
die.
Bro, oh my god, that's actually gonna be it. Watch it. I'm calling it now. She has
Here's-
a resurrect.
Here's
Watch.
what I'm calling, because those intros are always so fucking misleading. It's ridiculous. Like, you remember the Monkey King one and the Sapphire, how misleading they were. My thinking is it's going to be a fucking melee hero that pistol whips, and she uses her gun like fucking Snapfires.
Dude,
like,
no. She uses her gun to heal.
She's
She's like Visage.
Anna from
She gets
Overwatch.
those little fucking ticks, and then she shoots her teammate and they heal. I'm done.
Oh no, a
Fuck
creep
this
cut me.
game.
Show me the wound so I can shoot it.
Dude, I am done. She takes the life force spirits and puts it into you.
So let's do absolutely no information and no reason to think any of this, but our own theory crafts of what she's going to be. I'm actually going to put it on it that it is some kind of revive mechanic, either temporary or in some form, and she's able to either take a revive mechanic and it's going to make her a 4 or a 5. That is my bet. That's my opinion. That's my hot take. Gentlemen, any information that you guys want to say?
I think she's gonna turn like ethereal, like a ghost, and be able to attack through it, like for a specific like point in time.
Oh, like that. Okay.
I'm thinking almost like a phase. If like
No, this is gonna be like satanic. It's gonna be like Marcy. She's gonna push that, and she's gonna get stupid lifesteal and damage.
and then the next one's going to be a melee carry again.
No, she's gonna have.
melee
Okay,
ag
what's her
carry.
mobility spell though, guys?
Mobility spells or her alt, the face?
They all need mobility spells.
I think there
Yeah.
will be some kind of phasing.
Every single
ghost
one of
order.
them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Every single
God.
one of her
displacement.
spells is going
Mobility
to-
/ displacement, dude.
Yes,
That's what we need.
that's going to be all of them. We're going to get another Marcy.
What is happening? What is happening?
Oh,
It's so
God.
exciting. I honestly do believe that it's going to be
yeah.
an interesting hero for sure. And I think
It,
I do like the analogy you gave of whatever the trailer makes it seem like it is wrong.
it's always like that.
No, it's not always. Not always.
So
Sometimes.
I'm going to cut us to game time. Take a little break. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Whoa, stop
So-
the clock. His time.
My time. So I love getting like or playing these games. I really enjoyed it last time. I don't know how you guys felt. Especially the surprise. But this one's gonna be a bit of a trivia one. Okay.
Okay.
I've got 5 different items. Okay. I'm gonna
Okay.
release some information about them little by little. And first one to guess it correctly gets the point. If you guess it wrong, you don't get to answer the rest of the time.
All right, you're fucked, dude.
Oh, God.
So
you're
if you
fucked.
guess, you better be right.
All right.
Okay. This first item appeared in patch 7.20. I'll give you guys a bit kind of think in between each bit. Appeared in 7.20.
Can we ask small questions?
Sure, why
Let
not?
me ask, is
If
it-
I
was it-
answer them, who knows?
Okay,
But,
was it the
you
only
know.
question to appear in 7.20?
I don't know the answer to that.
Actually,
so-
an amazing question.
Yeah, I actually don't know. I've got very little information in front of me, so I actually have no clue.
No, you're fine.
It was buffed in 7.25B and then removed in 7.28.
Remove.
It has to be Ring of Trask. That has to be Ring of Trask.
Is that your guess?
Or what? No, what is that item called?
Is that your final answer?
Yes, I'm gonna go with yes. It has to be. It has to be.
It is Ring of Trask.
Damn.
Yes. 'Cause
So,
I remember that. I remember that stupid patch because all we did is buy that stupid item. We made it better.
so it first appeared in 7.20. Gave
Spectre.
150 health, 3.75 health regen, cost 700 gold, and built into was one of the recipe pieces for Heart of Trask.
Yeah.
It was buffed in 7.25B, increasing health regen to 4.5 and reduced the cost to 600 gold.
That was so stupid. We just played Spectre. It was
You
great.
just
You just played Spectre.
and then it took him a couple patches to realize, yeah, we fucked up. Get this shit out.
Cut it.
All right, so Jamokin gets that point.
I have a point.
So Welsh, you better step up your game, buddy.
Easy, dude. Easy.
All right, so here's the next one. So this one
Brewmaster. Just kidding.
was removed twice. Once in 7.07, was reincarnated in 7.23.
Poor man's shield.
Jamokin was
Final
right.
answer.
Jamokin was right.
Motherfucker, you Googling this shit. You better fuck.
No, bro. I swear. Hands ain't on the. They're up. Hands up. Don't shoot. You know what I'm saying?
All right. For the next ones, I am going to let both of you guess.
Okay.
But Poor Man's Shield was removed in 7.07 and reincarnated in 7.33 as a neutral.
Yep.
It was removed in 7.28. It was a
It's
tier
so
1
broken.
neutral. It was listen to this, a stout shield, 200 gold. 2 slippers of agility, 150 each, making 500 gold. 50% damage block from creeps and +6 agi, which in turn for an anti-mage literally gave him +6 damage, +2 armor, and essentially took 0 damage from creeps.
It was so fucking dumb, dude. It was a
Yes.
Vanguard. It was a cheap Vanguard. and it was so-
Remember PMS Aquila? Oh, that was
Mhm.
the best.
That was the worst.
Side shop. Ah,
That's when PA was allowed to exist, and it was terrible.
So this next one, okay, and you both get a opportunity to guess. It was created in 6.86, was reincarnated in 7.23, and then removed in 7.28. Do you guys want more information?
No, I think I got it.
What do you think?
He said it was reincarnated. That means it was a neutral, right?
you can't answer that.
I'd take that to mean what it is. I'm gonna say Iron Talon.
Well, she's
Okay,
well,
give me.
ruined. Assembled from Quelling Blade and a recipe. Take 40% of current health from a neutral creep.
That sounds like Iron Talon.
But well, she wins that one.
Motherfucker, I'm a jungler. That was the best item that ever existed in the history of Dota.
There was for a bonus point. There was a bug for a short period of time. What was the bug?
For Iron Talon?
Yep.
Roshan.
Was it Roshan?
Jamokin gets a bonus point.
Fuck.
Yes.
It would remove 40% of the health
48.
from
Yeah.
Roshan.
Roshan.
That's fucking stupid.
Alrighty.
No, what's stupid is Slark's Essence Shift used to kill you through Dazzle Save because he'd remove that last strength point, which would take your HP away, and you die. That's stupid. Calling Blade on Roche, good. Or
This
Iron
one
Talon.
was removed in 7.29.
That's all we get?
For right now.
Apparently, we've been fucking getting them without
Do you
that.
need more? It gave mana regen and strength.
Oh, it's fucking Necro. It's Necronomicon.
It is Necronomicon.
Mana regen and strength. Oh. Only one fucking item I know that exists that does that.
So, well, it doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, now it doesn't. Yeah.
Wait, what was the description?
It gives
It
mana
was
regeneration
mana
and
regen and
strength.
strength.
That's all I needed.
Yeah. It was built on heroes like Lycan, Beastmaster, Enigma, and even Tusk. It was also famous on Arc Wardens and
Oh.
Dazzles.
Oh, yeah, you could do it for tag team, couldn't you? Ooh.
Yep. Supports loved buying it later in the game. It would burn mana. The warrior could burn mana on each attack for 30, 40, 50, depending on Necronomicon.
My God, if we didn't get it by that point, I was gonna. That's
When
upsetting.
killed, did 600, 700, 800 damage to the one that, or to the hero that killed it, or the unit that killed it. At the third level of the book, the unit received True Sight, revealing invisibility. Warrior had 700, 800, 900 health and 50, 70, 85 damage. The Archer also had 700, 800, 900 health and 40, 60, 80 damage. At the third level, got a Purge ability, dispelling positive hero effects, and also had a passive ability to increase the movement speed of nearby heroes and units.
All right.
So, I'm going to remove Jamokin's bonus point.
Get fucked.
Because it's my game and fuck you. So, that brings us to Jamokin 2 and Welshie 2. So, we're going to go to a tiebreaker.
Dun, dun, dun,
This
dun,
one,
dun.
you guys are going to guess the patch.
Oh,
By number.
no.
And
Okay, are there letters? Do we have to factor in letters?
if you want,
Fuck.
Oh god.
And the
dude.
closest to the patch
Oh no.
wins the
Hands off the
tiebreaker.
keyboard, motherfucker. We gotta try and get this
Yo,
shit.
hands, dude. Hands have been in my pocket. All right.
I heard a scroll wheel. Eat my ass.
That was my scroll wheel. Scrolling down to the
He's
tiebreaker.
trying to get the questions, my guy. You're so
All right.
paranoid.
I'm listening
What
to you.
patch? You ready? What patch was the 5 couriers introduced?
7.0.
7.0. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say you're both wrong, and you misunderstood the question. The question, or what you're supposed to do, is the closest one to it. So, as a strategy thing, if somebody says 7.0,
Yeah, but I'm
you should
pretty sure that's the right
probably
answer.
not guess the. Well, you're both wrong,
Okay.
and I'll give
So,
you.
Welshie, do you want to go higher or lower?
I'll give you a hint by a lot.
Oh. Welshie, do you want to go higher or lower?
I'm saying lower.
Okay, then I gotta go higher. So.
So which patch was 5 couriers introduced?
6.0.
I'm gonna say 6.86. I remember that being a big patch for some reason.
In 6.86, the Animal Courier increased stock cooldown from 7 to 120, reduced gold cost from 120 to 100, reduced Flying Courier cost from 220 to 200, total cost decreased from 340 to 300. Wrong.
Fuck.
6.0 chainlog. 6.0, the Courier was yet to be created, was created in 6.03. So technically, Welshie wins.
Die! Because I'm closer.
Because you're closer, because it was 7.23.
What a vague patch. Why don't I remember 7.23? Was that a big patch?
Yes,
I don't know.
it was
I'm a
huge.
carry, right? So like,
Why does 6.86 stick out of my
I didn't buy the fucking courier. I didn't. You know, I didn't.
Do you guys want one more?
Yes.
I love these.
I gotta think of one.
We should do this every week. We should do a round robin.
You want to do something similar to this?
Yeah, I'll do it next week.
Okay. Where's the change log at? Here we go. All right.
All right. I have one. I have one for you two,
see.
actually, if you want.
Go ahead.
Well, no, it's my turn.
Yeah, but I have a really good one.
Here we go. Alrighty. This is a really fucking good one. All right. Guess the patch again.
Oh, Jesus.
And this is the one for all the marbles. Which patch was the mango introduced into the game?
Oh, fuck.
The mango or mango tree?
Mango.
Fuck. Oh, Welsh, do you have any clue?
Not even fuck close, dude. I'm actually for some reason going to go back to 6.86 because that's a patch that speaks to me. I don't know what the fuck about it. I'm going with 6.86.
Do you want to hear what happened in 6.86 of the mango?
Was mango removed?
There's nothing. There's
Oh.
no information for it.
I don't know why. My heart says 6.86.
Jamelkin?
6.32.
Well, she wins. It was actually created in 6.84.
That was close.
That was really close.
Wow.
There was a change in 6.85 that is Eat Mango. Now allows target self when used, can now be used on allies with control. Increased cash range from 250 to 400, reduced gold cost from 150 to 125, which is an interesting thing when I read this because it's created in 6.84, but I guess you couldn't eat mango. Or it's just saying that
Somebody
now
forgot
you
to
can
add the
use it.
eat mango button.
Yeah. So what did you guys think of that one?
I liked it. That's a fun game.
Good. Dark and Darker.
Yeah, we
It
can go
has
over
to
that real
live.
quick.
We ran into a hacker.
Did you?
Well, you were there.
Yeah.
I was there.
No, that was Josh.
You were
sir.
there. Oh no, you were there.
I was there.
Well, yes, you were there.
Yeah. So, first off, let's talk about our experience with the playtest, and then we'll get to there. But I think playtest
Yeah.
overall, the game is still amazing. Like, it should just be beta. Like, game just released because I'm having too much fun.
Well, the best part is me and Jamokin were talking before you got in. So the playtest has been extended for the second time. For the best reason imaginable. The
100%.
devs wanted to play.
why
Literally,
they
the
extended
devs.
They
that's
said,
what
"Yep."
said.
They're like, we're gonna
So-
extend it till the 2nd of November because we just want to play more.
The here's the announcement, the official announcement from Dark and Darker here. If it wants to load. They said final alpha playtest number 2 extension. Since November 1st is the first birthday for Iron Mace, one of the devs, we decided to extend the playtest a final 24 hours. This is also because we as the devs want to just play the game with everyone for at least a day without worrying about dev stuff. Therefore, there will not be any more hotfixes unless there are super critical bugs. This is the final alpha playtest number 2 extension for Reels. The playtest will end on the following time: November 2nd, 2022, 3 a.m. your local time.
For me, it's 4 a.m. on the EST.
So, yep,
Like, that's
Yeah,
going to matter to
USC's
somebody.
4
Yeah.
a.m. So,
Hey, what do you mean? Yes, it is.
anyways,
I'm still playing at 3 a.m.
way cool, right? Like, the devs just, I mean, it's a lot of fun. The devs just want to play. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
But
a
overall
great game.
thoughts on it?
Fun.
It's absolutely
It's-
fun. You need
It's
a group.
addicting.
I think solo play is abysmal.
I think solo play you have to play like Rogue. I don't
Yeah.
know if you can play on anything else. Rogues are just too fast. They can get away from things. They can piggyback third party fights. Like, I don't know another class that you can actually play.
Yeah, I feel like
solos.
being a barbarian by yourself would be abysmal.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're playing solo, you have to play like a rat. You have no choice because you will.
Wizard, I think you could play solo as well.
Yeah, possibly. I could see that because you're
I
very
mean-
much easily able to like stand your ground and just like.
Yeah, you have haste, so you have movement speed.
And
you have
invis.
invisibility, so
Actually-
you can get out.
I was wrong. Ranger is something you could play solo.
So almost anything you can play solo except for fighter and barbarian and cleric.
Slow classes and
You don't want to be a melee and you don't want to be slow to
True.
be by yourself.
But yeah, I think it's great right now. I think that it's very much optimized. The gameplay is optimized for 3-person parties. Like, you're meant to play as 3. It feels really great when you do. I just think that it again feels bad when you don't, which is fine.
Like, I kind of hope for like different game modes of queuing as solo or queuing as party.
Yes.
Right. Like, you can run solos, which would be so much fun. Just, I feel like everyone would just fucking run Rogue, and there's literally Rogue Showdown.
Rogue Showdown.
Like,
I love that.
It would be insane. Like, just imagine how many people go into the lobbies?
16.
16? Yeah. So imagine 16 people going into a lobby and a 16 rogues. Like,
That would be kind of fun.
that's kind of nuts.
Oh yeah.
Like, or imagine you're just like, I'm gonna play a ranger, and then there's 15 rogues and you're Ranger Ash. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're fucked. Like, you're just gonna get fucking just dunked on.
Well, maybe. You're really fast. Like, the ranger's so nice because the moment you give up chasing the ranger, he turns around and just kills you.
Yeah.
He just puts 3 arrows in the back of your head and that's it.
Which is why
And that
it's so
ability
hard
has
to
like a
play.
17-second cooldown, so he does that and then runs away from you again.
Exactly.
Right. And can heal.
Oh yeah.
And the air, like, they got rid of the sticky weapons, which is when you got hit, you moved really slow, but arrows
Arrows
are still
sticky.
quite sticky. Yeah.
Yes.
So get hit,
Um,
and then you're just slugged.
Can't move. Yeah.
Water.
So, anything else that you guys really want to see implemented?
I mean, more maps is always
tier
nice,
1.
right? Yeah, I want a tier
Supposed to
one.
be 3 maps. Yeah, we need the tier 1 map.
I like that.
I want the
mechanic-wise-
I'm excited for the game to get slowed down. Is what I'm excited for. I'm excited for the map to get bigger and the game to slow down. Because right now it feels like if you spawn in and you get in a team fight right away, the circle's already moving in, and so you didn't get time to loot anything. So you move in, and then if you run into another team, like the portals are popping at that point. And it's like there's been games where I got in like 2 team fights and now I'm leaving because out of all our resources and I net gained nothing because I didn't loot anything.
Right.
I have like 6 trinkets on me, and it's like, oh, okay.
I
I
guess
think
going to the collector.
I
Yeah.
personally disagree with that. I like the speed. I like it because it makes everything feel rushed. It makes people move quickly. It makes the camping not a
But
thing.
it doesn't work with the way you get like you have to set up a campfire, so that takes time, and then you're sitting and like you're regrouping after a fight, and so you're doing like a short rest. But everything feels rushed in a way where it feels too fast, in my opinion.
I get that. The one
I
that I would be
am.
good.
I'm excited for the level upgrades. Right. Like you have level tiers, so tier 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you get extra bonuses on those. I'm really
Yeah.
excited for that. I'm curious if it's going to be like a prestige kind of deal, because they wouldn't have to slow down the leveling if they just prestige it. You know what I mean?
So that
You
they can-
prestige to level 1, right?
Yeah, because
or
they have like the
class one.
talent tree or whatever it is.
Yeah, and you get tier 1, so then you get a talent. And then you prestige again, you get another talent and things like that, which I think would be really, really cool. Right now, it feels like, okay, you get to level 20.
Level
and
15,
Yeah, even level 15. It's like, okay,
you have
cool.
all your talents at that point. So.
Yeah, and then you get
your
nothing
perks.
at level 20, we found out after lots of questioning. But I'm excited for that. Like, I think that's going to be really, really cool. I would like to see a bit more perks and skills. I don't feel like there's a lot of customization. Like, it's kind of, okay, this is what you fucking run. Like, if you're running fucking Ranger, you're running quick shot and you're running field ration.
Like, and anything
that-
else is just suboptimal.
Period. Yes. So I think that would be really, really cool. Or just adding like another slot where you can add something else. Like maybe I can add like quick fire or true shot, something along those lines. I think that would be pretty cool. So
I want quality of life for the cleric when you're buffing your team. I don't want to be able to heal an enemy. That feels so bad.
it needs to lock on.
For teammate interactions, I agree. You should be able to target your teammate.
I get
Yes.
that.
And so long as they're within cast range, it should work.
Like, let's just heal up the enemy. You know what I mean? Like, fuck.
Oh, I just cast protection on the guy you're fighting. My bad, chief. Hang tight. I'll cast it on you. And then what am I going to tell my teammate? Don't move?
Right.
Like, how am I going to tell my teammate? Stand still. He's getting attacked by 2 guys.
Yep.
You're bobbing, weaving, dodging. So I think that would be nice. Obviously, for enemies, I wouldn't want to be able to lock on. I think that's, part of it.
It needs an AoE heal too.
For sure.
For teammates only.
I'd like to see the second level, the third technically, but the lower level I'd like to see get expanded more. It does not feel great that you essentially like go through the top level for like 20 minutes and then the second level is like maybe 8 and it feels super compact and very just kind of not worth exploring. It's very much like you go down, it's kind of the same route all the time and you just keep running shit. It doesn't feel great.
Yeah, I disagree on the not worth exploring deal.
Yeah, the loot and the money.
Because the
mad
Luke is
though.
absurd. But what I would like to see is portals going down come out faster. Like, they don't need to be spawning the same time as the escape portals. Like, if you want to escape, then yeah, they should take a while, force you to the middle and things like that. But if you want to go down, I think you should be able to go down. And I think those should be like expanded earlier. And I think that Like maybe even just like a specific spawn location. Like there's always like a 3-man here, and it's like dead center in the middle of the map. You have to run through everybody, but something where it's like, if I'm gearing up to go down, I want to fucking go down, right?
Yeah, and I think if the down portal spawned earlier, you would convince more people to go down. The issue with going down sometimes is like, okay, I'm out of resource. Like I have no heals. We don't have campfires to like. You use a campfire and you can get more heals as a cleric.
And I don't have a
you know.
ranger.
Yeah, like like
You
we're out
can't
of
go
resources,
down if
we
you
just
don't
have
have
to
a
leave.
ranger.
100% right now. I think that's
Yeah.
unbalanced and that'll be fixed. But as it feels right now, yeah, you don't have a ranger, you don't go down.
Yeah.
But let's get to the main story of what happened while we were playing with we're playing with our buddy.
Yeah, Excalibur
And-
Arcuda, some might know him.
And Welsh, you found the golden key.
Yeah.
The gold skull key or whatever it is.
Yeah, which for anybody who doesn't play, is there's basically a rare key that spawns you can get from a certain enemy.
There's 2.
Yeah, fair enough too. That you can unlock a very high tier treasure room, and we did it. It was great. We were looting it, doing everything, and we just hear footsteps coming up, and we're like, okay, sounds like a single guy. I mean, we're a bit trapped in this room. It's a bit tight, but you know what? Let's go for it. Well, we're gonna defend ourselves. Josh, Excalibur could have just queues up. He's got like full health, and he gets ready to go and what is it? He gets ready to fight him, and the guy opens the door. He's got a torch in his hand, bops him on the head once, and he falls over. And I was like, well,
we're freaking out at this point.
I'm like, well, that's one hell of a torch, isn't it?
Just like I'm dead, and I'm like, he has a torch, and he's like, I'm dead. Anyways, I have my rapier, and so I poke him in the head. The guy falls over, he dies, and then we look at the kill feed, and we're realizing everybody in the map's basically dead, all to a dude with a torch. And the guy was like speed hacking, and I don't know what he did to his torch, but his torch is one-shotting people. And so it was crazy. It was terrifying. Actually, the dungeon was scarier.
Oh yeah, and so let this be said, and just to put this in real context, this is an alpha that has been out for literally since Friday, and this happened,
and it's going away,
yeah,
right?
And it's going away.
It's
in 2 days. There's already hackers in the game.
Yeah, that's insane. But that's something that the devs have to work on, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like that's one of the
they
hardest
did put out a
challenges
patch
to-
actually last night about it, or this morning.
Yeah, they
Cool.
also let me
So
know
they're
that the
quick
guy that
about
killed
it.
us got banned. But on from there.
So, what's your guys' favorite class? We'll go quick through just last few like different questions, and then we'll wrap this up. But favorite class, like for me right now, the favorite class, like the one that I have the most fun playing, is probably the wizard.
Fair enough. You're just like sitting and doing damage, like just shitting.
Yeah,
damage.
you do a shit ton of damage. You have so much utility. Like it's,
I like
it's
the
challenging,
rogue is
too.
a lot of fun. You can get in a lot of fun situations by when they walk past you, and then you're shivving them in the back of the head.
That's very fair. I love the cleric. I honestly do. It's fun being a healer. I like being supports in like games like Overwatch and that kind of thing, so it fits me very nicely. And then I do love the, oh no, I've got a little spell book out. Oh, I'm gonna die. You're gonna get me, rogue. Pull out this giant hammer and bonk someone on the head once and they fall over. And just like, yeah, I'm a cleric. I ain't a bitch. And I just love that.
How about you guys' least favorite? Which one do you just despise playing? Mine's probably the rogue, and for the sense of every time I play the rogue, I feel like I get 2 shot by traps, and then my runs over.
Don't get hit by the traps.
I
I don't know if
traps,
you-
dude. There's parts of the map I will absolutely avoid just because fuck the traps.
Just don't die, lol.
There's parts of the map, if I'm leading, I just don't take the team down because I'm like, you guys are gonna lose like half our health
What?
getting stabbed from wall spikes, or people aren't gonna make simple jumps over floor spikes.
Fucking Naya.
And it's like, we're just not gonna go that way. We're just gonna turn around.
Naya, go back and grab an item off my dead body before you fucking use that escape portal. You just have to jump this really simple jump, like over the jail area. Okay, boom, goes down, steps on every fucking floor spike and gets mauled.
My least favorite is
Oh.
also Rogue. You just feel so glass. Like it's really hard to clear rooms by yourself because I never play my Rogue unless I'm playing by myself. It's hard to clear
No,
rooms.
playing Rogue by yourself is terrible because you can't clear rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why playing Rogue with a team is fun.
Yeah. So I would say like Rogue is my least favorite just because it just doesn't feel like it. There's everything does it that job better. It's great if you have a sneak on someone, but ultimately like every other role feels like it does its job better, right? You have someone in the tank who's really the frontliner who has a shield that can block, and then there's just people who do damage that are range.
I mean, if we're gonna talk about what we think the best class is, it's Ranger, hands down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It clears
it's-
rooms like
yes.
nothing. It does PvP like nothing.
Oh yeah.
It can do hell like nothing.
Oh yeah. I would say so. Let's move on to hardest to play.
Barbarian.
I'd agree.
Really?
Zero.
You think
way to
that's the
guard
hardest?
yourself. Zero way to guard yourself.
It's
Very
got a
little mobility.
fear, dude. That works on like people.
Okay, his PvE is fine. It's the PvP.
Yeah, but it works on like other players. It's shorter, but it still works.
It doesn't work on players.
You know what? I take that back. I'm going to Rogue because you
I-
miss 2 stabs on Rogue, you're dead.
I think if you're in a party, Wizard might be the hardest. And the reason being, you have multiple different spells that do like 6 different spells that do 6 different things in different scenarios. Like there's a lot of like different situations, a lot of options in every single fight. But like you have this one spell that does a fuck ton of damage. But if you fuck it up in any sort of way, you just kill your own teammates.
That's true. I mean, cleric's also hard though for the same situation.
Yeah, the clerics would be my probably second hardest because then you just like for like you were saying earlier, like, oops, I accidentally gave the other guy a shield, and oops, I accidentally healed the guy that you're fighting.
Or you have your big heal and you just completely whiff it, and if you don't hit anything with it, nothing happens. It's not like the small one where it's like, okay, at least I healed myself. I just threw it into the ether. Bye.
See ya.
And like we didn't know as like a cleric, you can sit at a campfire, which would
And
be
it-
considered
yeah.
a short rest, and you get your spells back. So for the longest time we were playing, and nowhere it told us this. So it's like I only have so much, guys. Like
Yeah.
I have to stretch this out.
The big
And
thing is
anything
you can
you
get your
whiff was punishment.
resurrection back after 2 campfire rests.
After 2 now, it was 1.
Yeah.
Now it's 2.
So, but I think that's gonna wrap it up
Indeed.
for this episode. So thank you guys for tuning in to episode 28 of A Dose of Sinsanity. We will see you next time.
Later.
Goodbye.
Bye.